Have you ever wondered what would happen if our goatiest demon king, Muzan Kibbutsuji, was reborn with all of his memories? Would he finally conquer the sun and take over the world this time, or not? Well, let's talk about the ultimate nightmare. In the original timeline, Muzan Kibbutsuji was a total loser who hid for centuries after Yoriichi nearly killed him. But in this timeline, Muzan is reborn with every single memory of those 13 slashes that scarred his soul. He opens his eyes and initially thinks that everything that happened to him was just a bad dream. But as time passes, he falls ill. He realizes that he's already lived through all of this. He knows he's destined to become the Demon King in a few short years. Eventually, the doctor turns Muzan into a demon again. But this time, he remembers that he must not kill this doctor immediately. He knows the medicine works, but it needs time. He also knows this doctor could help him gain immunity to the sun. But that wouldn't make the story very interesting, right? If Muzan got sun immunity that easily? Let's assume that this time the doctor senses the evil within Muzan. He realizes what kind of intentions this man has, and fears he might kill people in the future, so he refuses to give Muzan the sun immunity treatment, and provides no information about the blue spider lily. This makes Muzan furious. Instead of trying to persuade him, Muzan kills the doctor instantly. He knows that eventually Tanjiro and Nezuko will be born, and since they possess the potential for sun immunity, he will simply consume them when the time comes. From here, the story follows the original timeline until the Demon Slayer Corps is formed. This time, Muzan is fully aware of Yoriichi. He remembers how Yoriichi's blade felt like a miniature sun cutting through him, so he thinks of changing the entire history of the world. He decides that if he cannot defeat the sun, he'll steal its bloodline. Instead of turning random criminals into demons, Muzan spends his first few years tracking down the Tsukuni family. He doesn't kill them. Instead, he uses his 1,000-year-old knowledge of medicine and manipulation to become the family's head doctor. He ensures that Yoriichi and Michikatsu are born into a household that is secretly a laboratory. While Yoriichi is still a toddler, Muzan begins a process of harmonization. He isn't injecting them with raw demon blood that creates monsters. He's using microscopic amounts of his own essence to merge with their human DNA. He wants to create a hybrid being that has the breathing power of a god and the immortality of a demon. But he hits a wall because Michikatsu's body accepts the blood, but Yoriichi's body naturally rejects it. The sun breathing in Yoriichi's veins is so pure it acts like an internal furnace and burns away Muzan's influence instantly. Muzan realizes he can never control Yoriichi, so he thinks of a darker strategy. He focuses all his attention on Michikatsu. He feeds the boy's jealousy from the age of 5. He tells Michikatsu that Yoriichi is a divine error that must be corrected. By the time they're teenagers, Michikatsu isn't just a samurai. He's Muzan's greatest masterpiece. He's a human who can use moon breathing but has the regeneration of an upper moon. The day of the great confrontation arrives, and Muzan doesn't run away this time. He stands in the center of a bamboo forest, waiting for Yoriichi to find him. But when Yoriichi arrives, he doesn't find a monster. He finds his brother standing side by side with a man who looks like a scholar. The battle that follows is the most intense fight in the history of existence. It's not Muzan versus Yoriichi, it's Yoriichi versus the Eclipse. Muzan has developed a way to link his own nervous system to Michikatsu's. Every move Yoriichi makes is processed by Muzan's 7 brains and then transmitted instantly to Michikatsu's muscles. Michikatsu is moving with the speed of a demon, but the technique of a master. Yoriichi is forced to go beyond his limits. He realizes that to win, he'll have to kill his own brother, but Muzan has a final horrific card to play. He remembers the Kamado family from his past life are the ones who carry the fire when Yoriichi is gone. While the brothers are locked in fight, Muzan drops a bombshell that he's already captured the Kamado ancestors. He has them suspended in cocoons of flesh, slowly draining their life force to power a ritual. Muzan tells Yoriichi that for every strike he lands on Michikatsu, a member of the Kamado family will die. Hearing this, Yoriichi stops for a moment, while Michikatsu delivers a strike that he cannot dodge. However, he hasn't died yet. Instead, he does something Muzan never expected. He uses his final breath to perform a technique that wasn't in any of Muzan's memories. He doesn't strike at their hearts, but at the bond between them. He unleashes a 13th form so powerful it severs the blood link between Muzan and Michikatsu. The explosion of solar energy is so bright it can be seen for hundreds of miles. Michikatsu is knocked unconscious and his demon blood purified by the blast, while Muzan is caught in the center of the miniature sun. But because Muzan remembered the fight from his first life, he'd prepared a backup body. As his main form turns to ash, his consciousness slides into one of the Kamado infants that he had captured, and his body will finally be free when Tanjiro is born. Centuries pass. Muzan is forced to live life after life as a human, trapped in the very bloodline he tried to destroy. He grows up as a Kamado in every generation, feeling the sun burning in his veins. Finally, we reach the era of Tanjiro. Tanjiro is born, and for the first time in 1,000 years, the consciousness of Muzan realizes that the prison is breaking, and he's finally free. He finds another body for his consciousness, and here his Demon King journey begins. He just has a few years to get stronger and build his 12 Kizuki, and prey on the Kamado family to get his sun immunity. You might think Muzan will simply go to Tanjiro's house, attack them, consume Nezuko, and become immortal. But no, Muzan makes a mistake here. In the original story, Muzan didn't know about Tanjiro's father, Tanjiro. This time, in his rush to consume a sun-integrated human, he arrives much earlier than in the original timeline, so Tanjiro's father is still alive. Do you think Tanjiro would let Muzan hurt his family? Obviously not. Using the transparent world and the Hinokami Kagura, Tanjiro attacks Muzan and gives him a tough fight. He tells the family to escape while he holds Muzan back. Although Tanjiro doesn't want to leave his father, he's forced to flee, taking Nezuko and his siblings with him. Ultimately, Tanjiro cannot hold out against Muzan forever because he doesn't have a developed Nichirin sword, and he's just using an axe. Eventually, Muzan defeats him, and he's so blinded by his hatred for the Hanafuda earrings that he kills Tanjiro with the intent to erase him. Never realizing that if he had turned Tanjiro into a demon or consumed his blood properly, he might have gained sun immunity right then. While not confirmed in the show, there's a 99% chance Tanjiro could have conquered the sun. Muzan has made a blunder. Now, he doesn't know Tanjiro's location. He sends his weak demons to track them while Tanjiro tries to heal from the trauma. In this version, most of the family survives because they fled, but the mother stays behind and is killed by Muzan. Tanjiro's destiny is different now. While heading downhill with his siblings, he meets Urokodaki. When he tells him a demon attacked their family, Urokodaki takes them in. Once Urokodaki realizes the attacker was the Demon King himself, he sends Tanjiro to the Ubuyashiki mansion. Tanjiro provides all the information he has in exchange for his family's safety. He insists on joining the Corps and returns to Urokodaki to learn water breathing. Because he's much younger here than in the original story, his training takes much longer, but he eventually passes the final selection. However, he doesn't meet Zenitsu or Inosuke during the exam because he joined much earlier. On the other side, Muzan keeps searching for Tanjiro and finally learns that he is living at Ubuyashiki Castle. However, he doesn't go after him directly, but decides to get to Nezuko first to achieve his sun resistance. So he chose the Mugen train to kidnap Nezuko silently while everyone else is sleeping under Enmu's spell. He knows that her blood holds the dormant potential for sun resistance, but it needs a catalyst. He brings her to the Infinity Castle, keeping her in a state of sleep while he experiments on her blood with the medical knowledge he perfected over 2 lifetimes. Now his next goal is to get rid of Tanjiro, and the best place for Muzan to strike him is the Entertainment District. Why not the Mugen train? Because Akaza had to flee due to the sunrise. In the Entertainment District, things are more brutal. Since Tanjiro joined early, he never met Zenitsu and Inosuke, and they likely died earlier in the story, at the hands of the Drum Demon or in the forest, because they never had Tanjiro to help them. But things don't get easy for Daki and Gyutaro because Tanjiro is already furious at his parents' death and Nezuko's absence. So he shows no mercy, and it results in an advanced awakening of his sun breathing. His blades leave trails of real solar fire that prevent the demons from regenerating and turn their arrogance into pure terror. After this incident, he speeds up his training because they have just a little time left until Muzan's experiment is complete, and he finally devours Nezuko. So all the Demon Slayer Corps gather and make a plan to confront Muzan before that happens. And when the day finally comes, just as Muzan is about to fulfill his centuries-old dream, the entire Demon Slayer Corps attacks his Infinity Castle. And here the final battle begins. So what do you think happens next? Will it play out just like in the original timeline? Will Muzan finally devour Nezuko and conquer the sun? Or will he finally meet his end at Tanjiro's hand? Comment down below if you want a part 2 of this story.